Okay, good morning. Getting ready to go off for my morning walk this morning. You can see how daylight it's getting off to the east. It's about 6:45 in the morning. It's getting lighter and lighter, earlier and earlier. Feel pretty good. I'm gonna walk over and see if there's any trains running today. All right, I just arrived here. I didn't keep up as steady a pace as I would like to have, but that's okay. There'll be other days for that. So I'm looking down the main line here. I can see at least one engine down there running. I can see the light for it. Alright, I just set the session right there on the secondary main. Still no activity. It looks like there's something quite a ways down the track there. I saw the light. Alright, nose is running a little bit. It's probably about 39 degrees. Looks like it's going to be a really nice day today. Nice sunny day. The train hasn't moved down there and hasn't idled back up or anything, so I would assume they're going to be taking off pretty soon to start their work day wherever they're going to be at. Catching a nice little sunrise time lapse on this day. I think it's President's Day. I do believe it's Monday, holiday. And I really don't have anything on the tap today. It's really easy with the weather kind of crummy and all the hiking trails being so wet as they are to just not really go do anything. Of course, I can always go over to the mall and walk around. You know, that's only so much fun. And I can go for multiple hikes around my neighborhood, walks around my neighborhood, if I want to, but a lot of times I just don't really want to. Now here's this big pile of railroad anchors. There's something anchors or anchor something. But these are designed to go between the ties, to keep the ties, or to keep the rail, to try to keep everything locked in. That's supposed to kind of stop what they call rail creep. That's when the rails actually move this way because of when they accelerate or brake. The rails can actually move, and our rails are, the rails we have here are jointed, not welded, and apparently the jointed rails will move. So that's what these anchor, I want to say anchor bolts, that's not right. These anchors will help to minimize that problem. So, yep, I learned that on the Cumberland Mine Railroad channel. Yeah, he still hasn't moved anywhere. I think I see two lights on two different engines. It's hard to tell, but I think so. So let's have a look. This old dilapidated siding is not a good example of it. We'll go over here and look at the secondary main. And I don't see any anchors here. But this is a good example of the jointed rail that I was talking about. I believe this is called jointed, because there's a, you can see how they got it bolted together. And there's a gap in there between the rails, and that's because in the heat of the day, when these things get hot from the sun, they will expand, and they'll expand this way, of course. So when you got long pieces of rail, they'll actually move a fair amount and bump into each other. So that's why they do that. But I don't see any anchor irons, maybe that's the name of them. Let's go over here to the main line. Right over here at the main line, no big ding dong, but I don't see any anchors here. And again, you can see this, that joint there. Huh. Oh, here's some over here. Wow, they have very few of these things. So here's a good example of what these things do. You can see how they're placed there. They're placed here by a machine, and they are to keep the tie, the rail down to the tie more. And there's various ones. There's various different kinds. Huh. Yeah, there's very, very few here. Oh, my God. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, here's some here. Yeah, they are, perhaps they're not needed here. According to Dave on Cumberland Railroad, they should be everywhere. But we just only have a handful here. It's really bizarre. Well, still no movement down there. Oh, there he goes. I've walked off the rails, and you can see now the headlight and the two car headlights, I call them the car headlights, the lower ones, have activated, but I haven't heard a horn yet. I'm pretty sure before they actually take off, they would have to blow the horn. Having a pretty nice sunrise today. I haven't seen the sun yet, but the clouds are looking nice, and the GoPro session is capturing it. There's a bird sitting on that rail there. Teardrops fell on Mama's note as I read the things she wrote. She said, "We miss you, son, we love you, come on home." Well, I didn't have to pack, I had it all right on my back, but I'm still 500 miles away from home. I've had that song stuck in my head for about a day and a half or so, and it's not a bad song to have stuck in your head. It's by Bobby Bare, called 500 Miles, and I believe it was he did it the year I was born, I do believe. Alright, just heard the horn. Quick little blast on the horn. Oh, he's moving. Yeah, you can see the lower headlights are alternating on and off. We're blocked here by stuff. So here he comes out, one single engine. Yeah, he's gonna come out onto the main line, and then likely he's gonna go backwards. There would be no reason for him to go up this way, I wouldn't think, but he might. I'd sure like to see that if he did. They could have stuff to pick up in the other direction. He'll have to stop there so the brakeman can jump off and throw that switch. He's got to throw that switch back, because they just always do that so that they know it's just kind of it's something they do. They open the switch up to go through it, then they reset it back the way it should be. And it's just the way that happens. That's a pretty nice bank of clouds there. You can see it running horizontally. Yeah. And he is going backwards. So I think that's going to be my cue to probably take off. So he stopped again, and I can see the switchman was down. It looks like he was at the area where the locking thing is at, that would derailleur. They have a locking derailleur that they keep there so that none of the other engines can be moved out of there, because they appear to be leaving. Yeah, he's backing up now. And go get my GoPro session and wait for him to honk the horn down there. I knew that was coming. And continue my walk on back home. I've got some things I definitely need to do today, as far as like bookwork on the computer and all the rest. And not only that, they are running the NASCAR's Daytona 500. Was supposed to be yesterday, but it's rained out. And the Infinity race that was supposed to be Saturday night was rained out. So there's 2 races to watch today, live. And that would be interesting. So I might try to tune into one of those programs if I can find a way to watch it live. Not sure if I can. But be that as it may, we'll see it at some point. So I'm going to go down here and grab my session. I'm not sure exactly where I left it. I think it's right about where that white post is at. Okay, so that is going to be it for this morning walk.
Walk by a missionary, looking at his map for the monastery, gonna lay on stone and bake some holy bread. All the wars have come and gone, and now I'm headed back down to see my angel and her majesty. And I'm tired and dirty like a beggar, more aching and sore than ever. I crawled out of the grave and I'm gonna take my chance. Yeah.